All right, we'll get started. Welcome in. My name is Sarah Harvey, and I am a double gold consultant with Team Powerhouse. Today's training is on creating quotes and forms, so how to start looking and operating like a professional travel agent. This is being recorded, so if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, and we will do a live Q&A once we get through this. All right, so let's get started. All right, here's what we'll be covering. The core forms every travel agent needs, how to qualify your clients so you don't waste time, credit card authorizations and how to safely and correctly do them with your clients, how to present quotes that close bookings, itineraries and proposals, and some tools such as free options, plus Jotform, Travefy, and a few other bonus tools as well. So let's start with why forms matter. So forms do a few big things actually. So they help protect us as travel agents. They protect the client as well. They keep everything in writing, save time, and make you look professional. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. So forms prevent confusion like, I never said that was my budget, or with the credit card companies doing any type of back charges or anything like that. So it definitely does help protect us. And that's why Archer makes sure that we definitely do the credit card authorizations. Let's talk about the core forms you should have in your business from the start. The first thing would be the client qualifying form. This is where you decide if the client is ready and what they actually want. So things like their name, their email, their phone number, different destination ideas, the dates, if the dates are flexible or not, definitely a budget range, who's traveling, and the ages of the kids, if there are any. And what matters most, if it's luxury, the location, nonstop flights, adults only, things like that. And when are they trying to book, if they're trying to book later on or right now. So once you qualify them, then you'll send the questionnaire to get them qualified. And then the travel questionnaire, so this is trip type specific. You can have one main questionnaire and then different versions for different trip types. For instance, you have your qualifying forms for cruises, Disney, all inclusive, everything like that. On your main qualifying form is all the main information, their contact information, destination, the dates, budget, Mr. Peach. If you want to collect the detailed trips, preferences, reduce any type of misunderstanding, and customize each experience. So, for instance, your Disney questionnaire is going to look different. Here's a few things that your Disney questionnaire should have, like the ages of the travelers, the preferred parks, and how many days they want to go to each park. If they want on-site or off-site stay or resort or hotel, the different dining plans that they would like, the park operator preference, and special celebrations. So that's going to be different than your basic form. And then your cruise questionnaire is going to look a little different too. With your cruise questionnaire, you're going to have the cruise line preference, the cabin type, if they have their passports, different drink package options, different travel insurance, and if it's a special occasion. And then your vacation package questionnaire is going to be things like if it's an adult only or a family friendly resort, what type of resort style, if you want luxury, budget friendly, relaxed, party, different excursions and activities that they may be interested in, their flight preferences, if they want a flight, a direct flight, or if they want to stay at a certain location in between flights, things like that, and travel insurance, of course. We have our credit card authorization forms. This is very important. This form protects you and your client. It lists things like the cardholder name, the billing address, the authorization amount. You want to make sure you have written down if there are monthly payments, you want a credit card authorization form for each payment that you process. It's important because there are a lot of scammers that will try to contact the bank and say that they didn't authorize the amount. So you definitely want to make sure you have that. Plus the supplier name, you want to make sure you get the client's signature and date. So what makes a professional travel quote? Of course, the client name and destination, the dates, if the dates are flexible or fixed, the price per person and the total amount. I always put both on the travel quote because that helps if there are more than one person paying. What's included and not included, I always try to include if the transportation is included, if there are any type of resort costs or anything like that. The cancellation policy, if there is any listed, the quote expiration date. For instance, most of the time, Vax is like 48 hours. Expedia Tap is the same, and each supplier is a little different. So you want to make sure you add the expiration date and any eye-catching photos. It really does help in a quote. And then there are your itineraries and proposals. This is going to be after you're all said and done and before your client leaves. You'll have a day-by-day overview, different hotels or cruise details that you would like to send to them, any information about the flights, the transfers and excursions. So if they're going to Cancun, then they have a few different excursions that they have. You want to list all that for them. It just helps. It makes it look professional and it helps your clients. And any important notes and reminders that you would like to send them as well. So some free tools that I personally started using right away was Google Forms is always great for all of these. Google Docs, Canva, and PDF fillable forms, such as our credit card authorization form. Jotform is very good. It does cost, but I have a link to get you started. You get 5 free forms each month. I'm pretty sure it is, but I will share that with you guys too. But Jotform is good for it's secure and professional. You can add in your custom branding. It's good for e-signatures, credit card authorization, and any type of any of the questionnaires that we just went over. And then Travefy is another really good one. Once you do get started and, once you get started making money and everything, they're very, very professional quotes. It's branded itineraries. There's client approvals. So if you send your client a quote, they can approve it and set up the payment right through Travefy. It is a very good system if you're able to afford it. There's also very, very good reviews from different client experiences. Simple systems for new agents, Google Forms for qualifying your clients, Jotform for credit card authorizations, Canva for quotes and itineraries. Google Drive is good for storage and organization. You want to make sure you save everything. Any type of quotes that you do, any itineraries that you do, try to keep them organized because it really does help eventually when you get a lot of clients coming in. And some best practices for forms and quotes. Keep forms simple. You don't want to overdo it. When the client receives a quote, they don't want to see a bunch of extra stuff that isn't necessary. One purpose per form. You don't want a bunch of different forms in one to make it look overcrowded and everything. You want to brand everything, always add your logo. For instance, for Vex, they do email or you're able to email a client the quote directly through Vex. But I always recommend sending it to yourself first and then branding it, which I'll show you how to do. It helps yourself and it helps so the client doesn't try to go over you and go to the supplier themselves because that could happen. And then always save copies, like I said, never skip the credit card authorization and set expectations early. All right, so let's go over. I have some that I wanted to go over. Now, with the credit card authorization, if you don't know, I will show you where to find that. If you're in your travel cafe, go to forms and then credit card authorization form. So this is what you'll do as soon as your client says they're ready to book, you would come here, get the form. It tells you right here how to fill the forms out, any forms that you need, any information that you would like to know about it. There is a 21-day booking tab if it's within 21 days. Click on here and fill in all the information. Always get a copy of their ID and credit card. What is it for first 12 numbers, but they want to show the last 4 numbers so that way we're able to verify that it is their card. All right, and then here is an example of my Walt Disney Vacation Inquiry form. I made this on Jotform. So here's where I was saying that it's a little different than your regular vacation form because you're going to want to add things, the different age groups, let's see, any celebrations, what type of travel it is, if they want to stay in a certain type of resort, any type of room preferences, and then here's the park hopper information if they want certain type of tickets. Eventually, you'll get used to which ones you need to use and everything. This is just an example of a Disney one. And they do have pre-made forms and Jotform, which I really like too, and that you can use. A lot of agents have been asking recently if they want to charge, if they're able to charge a service fee up front, because we do get a lot of clients sometimes that you don't want them to waste your time. You do a whole lot of research and try to help them, and then they just ghost us. It happens, believe me. But so this really does help. If you have that feeling, you can do a non-refundable retainer fee. I usually do like $100 and put it towards their booking. I always let the client know that it's not just a fee I'm charging. This is so I know that they're serious and I'm not wasting my time. I list the terms and conditions that it's a retainer fee added to their booking in the end. So that's a good one to use as well. And then here is just my basic travel quote request form. This one was made on Jotform also. Just a little bit about me, and then all of the basic information, the name, phone number, where would you like to travel, the departure date, return dates, what type of vacation are you planning, if it's a all-inclusive hotel, cruise, whatever it is they're planning, how many adults, how many children, and remember you always want the ages of the children as well, how many rooms, and then complete this section if flights are needed, and any of the flight information. Complete this section if for cruises, if they want a personal, if it's a family or group cruise, the destination, how many people will be going, how many passengers or children, if they want an interior, an ocean view, balcony or suite, and then if they want a hotel or resort, any information about that. And then their budget. Their budget's really important. It is hard to ask a client in the beginning for like how much are you trying to spend, but it's very, very important because it helps us narrow down a lot. So you always want to make sure you do ask about that. Or if there is no budget, then that's fine as well. And how soon can you make a deposit? That's another good one because you'll know if they're serious or not and any extra information. So this was made on Jotform too. All right, so here's an example of a quote. Now, for example, this one was done on Vax. So like I said, I'll show you what it looks like if you've never seen a Vax quote. So when you do a quote on Vax and you email it to yourself, this is what it will come. So now FunJet clients aren't able to go directly to them, so that wouldn't be a big deal. But Apple Vacations, they can go directly to Apple Vacations. So that's why I said I always email it to myself first. I took all of this information, pretty much everything, and then I just copied and pasted it right into Canva. Now this is a different one, so that way I could show you guys how to do it if you would like me to. And then I added my logo, and then I just changed out the FunJet name with mine, so I put Memorable Escapes. And then usually all of the information's right here. It's really simple once you get used to it. And then I always recommend adding in photos. This specific client has 3 different stays. So I added in the first resort here, and then their second stay here, and then their last hotel here. So just nice looking photos. And you always want to make sure if it's a certain room type, you add the right photo. For instance, this was a basic king room. Always make sure you add the right photos. Here is another example. This was for a cruise. With the cruise line, like Carnival, you can send it directly to them or make it your own. But this one I tried to do on my own. But all I did was just put the basic information, the itinerary, the price per cabin. They needed 2 cabins, the total price, the balance or deposit, and what's included. This was in Canva. Here was another one, just an example for you guys. This was another carnival one, but this one I did on Google Docs. So I just added a carnival photo and all the details. I just copied and pasted everything that Carnival gave me when I did their quote. So I just copied and pasted everything, and everything is right in there. Google Docs is a free way to do it also. And then here was an example of one, a universal. So I went into Vax, I got a quote from Vax, and then I just copied all the information about Orlando, or about their stay, and pasted it right into Google Docs. And then it does tell you right here, like, which everything's included, if the hotel, the early park admission. It just tells you everything they showed me, and then I add in photos to make it look nice. Like I said, for instance, this one right here is Vax. I just did this one for training purposes. So I emailed this to myself already. I'll start here. And then copy all of this. And then we'll do one in Canva. I love Canva. You can do so much. So we'll just do a doc and then go here and copy and paste. That's a little big, but here, let's resize this. Oh, that's too big. No wonder. Hold on. Let me redo this. No, I messed up. Let me restart. Sorry. All right. We'll do a sheet instead because I'm not sure why it's turning out like that. There we go. I just had it in the wrong format. I don't know why it's no. Oh, sorry guys. I don't know why it's not working. Let's do Google Docs. All right. So here, if you go to Google Docs, you just go to blank template, and then that's where you can just copy and paste. All right, now it turned out right. And then right here, I would edit. I would just remove pay to fungi, and then you would add your business name. And then balance due. This we can delete. Okay, destination. And it has all the flight information. And this was just an example that I wanted to show you guys, but all of this stuff you can delete. Yeah. And just make it look nice. And then you can always add in a message at the end. This is where you can add in photos of the destination. I do recommend going directly to the Planet Hollywood website so you know for sure it's the right photos. This is the right location. You just always want to pick something that looks nice, that's eye-catching for the client. So for instance, I'll do this one. That's pretty. I'll go back. And you can always add it within the document, but I'll just add it to the end for now. Okay, that's good. And you would just add whichever ones you would like. Now I wanted to show you guys Expedia Tap. With Expedia Tap, I had already done one for the training, but if it is a quote that involves flights, then you're not going to be able to send them a quote directly with Expedia Tap. So you would have to save it. I saved it to myself. For instance, this one doesn't have flights, so it will let you send this to yourself. But if it does have the flights, then you're going to have to get the quote together and then copy and paste into a doc, is what I was trying to show you. If it does not have the flights, then you can just email this directly to your client. I do have a few cheat sheets for you that I would like to share. I'll post them in the chat. Let's see. A few different things that should help. All right. Are those? They're just different forms showing you toolkits to show you what you can use. Here is the link for Jotform so that we can get a free trial for Jotform just to get used to it. I always suggest just play around with it and see how you like it. You do get the 5 free quotes, so that's plenty to start out with. Also, I wanted to share one more thing. This right here, it is under Google Space. This is the Google Forms solution, but it's a new thing that they came out with. This is what will pop up. It's AI Studio. All I did was typed in create a travel questionnaire for my clients, and this pops up. It's really beautiful. You can change out things too, and it's free as well. See what kind of destination are you craving? And then they would choose Let's say beaches. What is your budget per person? What defines your travel style? Once they do this, you will receive an email letting you know that they submitted it. This is another good idea to do too. I just actually found this morning. So I just wanted to show you. All right. Does anyone have any questions?
Hi, Sarah. I got
Hi.
I got a quick question for you. Is there a new credit card authorization form now?
Oh, they did move it. I'll show you where that's at because they changed everything around. If you're in your back office, just go to Travel Cafe.
I don't remember before where you had to attach their driver's license to it.
Oh, yeah, that was the 21 under 21 day. That's why it asked for the ID on there. That
Okay.
was the booking in under 21 days.
Okay, I missed that part.
I was so sorry. Here, so it
No,
would be
no.
right here. And yes, it's the same one. So it's this one right here. You're
Oh, okay. That's
under
fine. I thought,
21
oh
days.
boy. I
Yeah.
just did some bookings and I thought, well, I use the old one. So
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that one was for within 21 days. So you were right. So
do you
when
still have to send one over if they're making monthly payments?
Yes, it's really up to you, but they do say we should do a separate one each month just so that way it does protect us. But I mean, sometimes I do see some agents, they will put on here, I authorize, and where is it at? The total to my card, they will put the total amount and then in parentheses, you can put like if it's 200 per month, you can write that out $200 per month up until whatever date. It's completely up to you though, or you can just send one each month.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sarah, I have a question. We can download this authorization form and keep it on our hard drive and then fill it in and send it, correct?
Yep, you can do
Okay.
it that way, or you can send it directly through here and they can sign it with Adobe Fill and Sign. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me today, and I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And I hope you guys have a great day.